Hey everybody, my name is Lisa and I'm the Crafty Goddess. Hello and welcome. Before I even begin to start today's video, I just wanted to send a huge heartfelt thank you to every single person who watched my last video, responded to it, clicked like, although there wasn't much to like about it. Every single person out there who sent your warm wishes, your words of support and comfort and love and prayers, everything. I am so deeply grateful from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for coming together as a community for support. I've always been a supportive person with as far as instances like life-threatening illnesses, misfortune to any degree. I'm usually the one that will come out and say, hey, I don't drive, I don't have my driver's license, but if you want me to drop off some food, or I can make some socks or slippers or something comfy for you to snuggle with, I make prayer shawls. I'm usually the one that's giving, so to be on the receiving end of it, it's a little weird, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean it in a positive way. It's a growing experience for me. It's a growth period, and I am honored to have so much support and love from all you amazing folks out there who have given that. I be honest, I'm kind of speechless. The words thank you just seem so pitifully inadequate. Things are still happening. I'm still scared, but I am hopeful. I am trying to take things day by day and just manage it as it comes. I believe it was something similar to what Dr. Martin Luther King said in regards to taking the first step. He said, and I'm paraphrasing, I apologize, I don't want to misquote Dr. King, but he said something along the lines of, you don't need to see the whole staircase, just take that first step. I'm taking these first steps. My knees are a little wobbly, but if I want to foster the hope to survive and thrive and keep going, that's what I have to do. And having this plethora of support behind me really means a lot. So thank you so much. Special, huge thank you to Crystal, the Yarny Chicken and Crazy Cat Lady. Within hours of dropping my video, she started a prayer chain on her channel. She put up a notice on her YouTube feed saying, asking people for prayers and words of support and positivity. Crystal, thank you so much. I already thanked you several times in several occasions, but the thought is just so sweet, and I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. And to Tori from Polly's Crochet Creations, Tori reached out and asked for my address. Something tells me Tori is sending me some happy mail. Thank you. Tori messaged me on several platforms and whatnot with words of comfort and love and well wishes. And again, just the words thank you just seem so inadequate, but I'm so grateful. By the way, Tori has undergone surgery as well, so please send your love and support and well wishes in that direction as well. I'm willing to share the bounty of positive energy, so let's channel some over in that direction as well. And if you haven't already subscribed to Crystal Yarny, the Chicken Crazy Cat Lady, or to Polly's Crochet Creations, go do it. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like buttons. They're both fabulous. They both put up some really cool stuff. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to catch a lot of Crystal's live chats. Like, she does live chats every week, but because I have an afternoon schedule, I haven't been able to tune into them as much. Although, and I'll explain in a bit, I'm probably going to have a little bit more time in my hands now. So just to give a quick update, I had my first official doctor's appointment at the hospital, Grand River Hospital in Kitchener, to go over everything. And I mean, it looks, I'm not going to say it doesn't look good. I mean, it doesn't look hopeless, but it's kind of a gray area right now. It doesn't look like I'm going anywhere, and it looks like the medical team that has been assembled in my favor is throwing everything and the kitchen sink at this cancer. What I have is called invasive ductal carcinoma, which is one of those ones that I don't think you necessarily need a family history of cancer, this cancer to show up. I've got the perfect storm of it. I'm 52. I'm menopausing. I've never had children. Not saying that these are definite contributors to it, but they can be contributors to some degree. I'm not saying that they are. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical practitioner by any means. But it looks like there were a lot of factors that meant that this was going to show up. Unfortunately for me, so what's going to happen is the battle plan that has been drafted up so far. But for the record, the team that I've been talking to and working with so far, top notch, amazing. They were throwing a lot of medical jargon at me on Friday, and sorry, today's Sunday, March the 5th, so this was like 2 days ago. There was a lot of medical jargon being thrown around, a lot of big intimidating words, which I was kind of rattled with. And yeah, with the advice of the medical professionals that I have spoken with, I am on immediate leave of absence from work. As of Friday, I'm going to be going through the gamut, and here's what's going to happen. Tomorrow's Monday. Tomorrow morning, I'm getting an ECG, echocardiogram to make sure my heart is healthy. I just had one a few months ago, and it came out fine. But because I have a little bit of, I don't know if it's like a heart irregularity or just my nerves getting the better of me, but I do have what one doctor called a funny heart rhythm. It wasn't officially diagnosed as arrhythmia, but we obviously want to make sure everything's okay up here before we do anything severe, because all this is going to get looked at and poked and prodded and God knows what else. I'm not going to go into too much grotesque detail because I realize some folks may be triggered by medical talk, so we'll try to filter it as much as possible. But yeah, tomorrow will be my ECG. I will be getting a bone density test. I will be getting ultrasounds, once again, just to make sure where everything is and see what's grown and what has hopefully stayed dormant. I know one of the tumors is starting to grow. It's there. It's out and loud, for lack of a better way of putting it. And I will also be getting a biopsy because another biopsy, yay. If anybody's ever had a biopsy, y'all know that they're not that gentle. I mean, maybe I was just riding the panic wave a little too much, but I was just, maybe it was just the discomfort and everything else. But anyway, I'm getting another biopsy because my last one, the pathologist was concerned that, and these were notes I didn't hear about until Friday. There's a lot of stuff that I don't hear about until I'm in the thick of something, and I'm just like, what now? Oh my God. But yeah, it looks like a couple of the lymph nodes in the area are enlarged. Now, that's not to say the cancer has gone into them, but 9 times out of 10, it does mean that it has. So they're going to have to come out as well when I get surgery. I don't know. Again, I don't know if it has or hasn't. I'm going to be calling my doctor first thing tomorrow morning to get some clarification on that and find out what's going on. But yeah, first order of business after all these rudimentary tests like the bone density, ultrasound, etc. I'm going for another biopsy. And then the week of the 17th, St. Patrick's Day, or just in time for St. Patrick's, I will be starting 4 months of chemo. So it's very likely that the next time we see each other, I will be bald. Because the chemo in question, now I know a lot of folks are saying, well, the chemo is not as bad as it used to be. And yes, that is true. But in my particular case, they're going with the hard and heavy hitting chemo to try and shrink that, because remember, I got 3 tumors knocking around in here. So the primary objective is to shrink them down enough to clip them, if not remove them altogether. There were some ideas floated around during this initial appointment in regards to lumpectomy, partial to full mastectomy, anything's in the open right now. I mean, whatever saves my life and helps give me a better quality of life, I'm game. If we have to take this whole thing off and, oh, sorry, just knock this over and I'll stop swinging my arms. I'm sorry. Sorry about the noise. But yeah, if I have to hit up one of my friends for some knitted knockers, if anybody's heard of those or seen those, I have a lovely friend named Liz who makes knitted knockers, and she said, just let me know when and where, let me know what size. But we'll see. Again, once it gets closer to the end of the 4 months of chemo, during the after the 4 months, I'll be getting a 4 to 6 week break. We will decide what type of surgery has to be done after that. So let's see, 4 months. So this is March now. So from March, April, so till around the beginning of July, I'm going to be getting rounds of chemo. It looks like I'm going to be getting it every 2 weeks. It says for 4 times. I'm reading my doctor's notes, and there's kind of a flow chart, point form, who knows what else. With growth factor injection the day following each chemo, because along with chemotherapy, for those folks who are familiar with this, you'll know that chemotherapy not only wipes out all the bad cells, but can do damage to the good cells. So alongside chemotherapy, I will be given immunotherapy to help boost my immune system, because everything's going to be wiped out. This is, like I said, this is going to be hard hitting. I've been given a 100% chance of hair loss, nausea, possible vomiting. I have emetophobia, and made that quite clear to everyone in the room everyone that I've talked to about this. And I've been told that they can give some pretty strong antinauseants as well. Maybe that's what this next point is. Yeah, so I'm going to be given some antinauseants, and I'll be drinking a lot of ginger tea, possibly. I've been told cinnamon's good too, but I've heard that cinnamon can also have an adverse effect to a stomach upset. I'm reading a lot of nutritional information right now on how to battle that, the nausea, the fatigue, because the chemo is going to be pretty hard. It's also going to just, I don't want to say be invasive, but, all your membranes, like your mouth, your esophagus, that sort of thing, it's all just going to, it's going to be awful. It's going to be rough, and it's going to suck, just like my surgeon predicted. But if it helps clear everything out where I can keep going for at least another 20 years or so, fine, sign me up, I'll do it. But I'm already looking at a lot of nutritional information. I'm going to be given immunotherapy and just a full cocktail of drugs. So yeah, after the 4 months, around the beginning of July, I'll be getting a 4 to 6 week break from that. And then we'll be going into surgery. Again, completely dependent on how this goes. So fingers crossed. Hopes and prayers that these all shrink and I can send this all back to the pits of hell where it belongs. And then after after surgery, I'll be getting another 3 to 4 weeks break, I guess. After which I will be going for radiation therapy, and then we go from there. So the estimated timeline that the oncologist gave me in regards to everything like chemo, surgery, I'm going to be taking a year, full calendar year, to clear this out of my system. I am aiming for Christmas to have a full bill of health. I am channeling all my energy. I am sending all my prayers and positive energy out into the universe to whoever will listen. I want this all cleared up and done by Christmas. Now, my husband wants me to be done by my birthday. He says, I want you to give yourself a clean bill of health for your birthday, which is in October. Maybe it'll happen sooner. Who knows? I'm hoping that this will all be done and over with before next March. So, again, fingers crossed. Hopes and prayers still welcomed, and they'll definitely come in handy. So, yeah, that's the battle plan for now. I'm going to try and keep the more gorier medical aspects and descriptions down to a dull roar, but there are going to be times where I will be coming to you lovely folks, and like I said, the next time I could be bald, at least wearing a chemo cap or something. I have also been told that I could look into wigs, which is fairly commonplace. I have friends who perform in drag. I'm hoping they can give me some good recommendations. Anyway, fingers crossed, as I've said before. But that's how we're looking at things for now. And again, there's been such an army of support. I've had friends and relatives step up and help with rides to and from different hospitals. I've signed up with the Wheels of Hope, which is a transportation program through the Canadian Cancer Society, and I will be definitely taking advantage of that. The first round of chemo is going to be taking place at Grand River in Kitchener, but because I live in Guelph, I will be having the remainder of my chemo and radiation treatments transferred here to Guelph General Hospital, which will make things a little easier. But yes, I will be taking advantage of the Wheels of Hope program because there is no way I'm going to feel comfortable climbing onto public transportation looking like a plague victim and, you know, possibly scaring the public. I'm not saying that that's what happens. Like, you see folks in public who have the chemo caps and who are looking rather frail. I don't think that way of them. I think, oh my gosh, you poor thing, I hope you get better soon and get back up to full speed, because I'm compassionate. But when it's me, my first thought is, oh God, I don't want anybody to see me like this. Just, no. I'm sure that'll be the least of my concerns when I start going through the thick of it. And I know that there are some folks who have mentioned before about in regards to chemo and having my hair fall out because the strength of the chemo is going to be hard enough where I've got a 100% guarantee it's going to be gone. So next week before chemo starts, I will be shaving my head because if I'm going to lose my hair, it's going to be on my own terms. And I've always wanted to shave my head anyway. So that's going to be happening. It's also been advised that I do that as well because one of my, well, just as an example, one of my coworkers who has been battling a similar type of breast cancer for the past year and a half now, she lost all her hair almost immediately starting chemo. She literally woke up one morning, rolled over, and it was on her pillow. And that throws people, right? It's in fact recommended that cut your hair short or shave it, whatever. So I said, fine, I'm going to shave it off. And then I said, I'm not going to cry with this one. My husband told me he was going to shave his head too. Which is just so sweet. Like, he's been talking about doing this for a while too. So, yeah, we're going to be shaving our heads together. Bonding experience. It's so sweet. I had my friend Eve take me to and from my appointment this past Friday with the pathologist and the team of doctors and was privy to my conversation I was having with Paul. And she said, he wants to shave his head, let him. Just let him. Whatever help people are giving you, just let him. Just take it. Which, yeah, again, I can't emphasize this enough. I'm not used to this. This is weird. But it's a good weird, and I'm getting used to it. And again, just so grateful. Just, oh my gosh. So I know with looking at the thumbnail for this, a lot of you were looking at me going, why are you holding up a big green shawl? Well, this isn't going to be all doom and gloom and I'm sick, feel sorry for me, blah. Again, my words, not anybody else's. I've been trying to work on a couple of things. I meant to... Now, the video before the last one, I did a review of the Karen cinnamon cakes yarn? Yeah. And I was going to do a review of the Karen Blossom Cakes yarn as well because I wanted to kind of give a lot of people were giving their feedback on these new Karen Cakes yarns. And I started working on a shawl, the shawl that you see in the thumbnail. This gorgeous, gorgeous shawl. This is the crochet, what is it? Crochet eyelet triangle shawl. Sorry, I'm trying to get this nothing. I'm all tangled up here. This is the eyelet triangle shawl done. The pattern is a free tutorial. Yes, I've got an end sticking out. I'll sew that in later. I got this from the Hooked by Robin YouTube channel. If anybody watches Hooked by Robin, she is just amazing, super sweet, lovely lady. She has a few gazillion tutorials on her YouTube channel, some of which I've followed, some of the more easy to follow crochet patterns, well, easy for me anyway. And this, if you can see it, this is just under 2 balls. I've got this much left from a second cake. This colorway, this is the Karen Blossom Cakes. This was called Tide Pool. When I first saw the cake like this, I was just like, it looks like Jackson Pollock had a midlife crisis. Like, I was just like, I don't know how this is going to translate. But then I started doing it up, and I'm actually really super impressed with how the color, like, I've grown into loving the color green, but different shades of green, like forest green, these types of green, like a jade. I'm hooking stuff up everywhere. I got strings and things attached everywhere. But yeah, like, this is just absolutely gorgeous. And it does up really nice too. I'll go over the stats in a second, but I did this with a size 5 crochet hook, which I believe is an H, US 8. Just even the different the color gradations, look at the different shades of green. Just Beautiful. I really like it. I'm actually really impressed with it. Knocking things over. All right. So there's that. I also got 2 cakes in this colorway. If you can see that. That is called Tropical Blooms. I'm not a tropical gal at all. Like, this is quite a departure for me in my normal yarn purchasing. Sorry, I'm knocking things over as we speak. You can go over there for now. Stay. All right. So, and I realize, like I said, I'm late to the party with reviewing this, but it's a very, 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 very soft yarn, very squishy. It's like holding a cloud. It's beautiful. Some of the Caron cake yarns are very much like this. Like there's this, not the big cakes, the crystal cakes that you can probably see over here. There's a couple different types. What else is there? Turn around. Come on. You. Oh, that yarn ball band is broken, but and then there are some Caron cakes that come out that just feel heavy as a brick. Just, this is smushy. It passes the smush test. It's just gorgeous. It is soft, very nice, and it does have a wee bit of a halo. If you can see that, there's a bit of a fibery halo to it, but I think it adds to the plushness of the yarn and the finished product. The Blossom Cakes, in case anybody hasn't seen enough reviews on this already, each cake is 8 ounces or 227 grams. It's 61% cotton and 39% acrylic. It doesn't feel like your typical cotton acrylic blend, especially with that fuzzy halo, but it is nice. And as you've seen, it does just beautifully. It is a medium weight of 4, a worsted weight. It is a nice, good, solid worsted weight. I really like it. I didn't think I would. Like I said, I just saw this colorway and went, yuck. But if that Tide Pool colorway, the greens, was anything to judge this by, I can only imagine how stunning this is going to be. And yeah, like I said, I'm not a bright color gal at all. This is a very huge departure for me as far as my normal color palette fallbacks. And what else can I tell you about this? The knitting needle suggestions are a 5 US 8. Okay, so it is an H. Same with the crochet hook, 5mm. It is machine washable and dryable. Each cake is 481 yards or 440 meters. And it's the same price as the, it is the same price as the Cinnamon Swirl Cakes yarns. It's $14.99 Canadian prices. And I mean, I'm still a little, like, yes, with everything increasing in price over the past few years, I'm not surprised that yarn has increased in price as well. I would expect to pay $14.99 for something like this because it is a blended fiber and it's a pretty solid weight and a solid, it's good yardage. Like I said, that shawl in the Tide Pools is just under 2 cakes and it's huge. So I can only imagine. I really like it. I panned it unfairly at first, but now that I'm working with it, I may have to get some more colorways before they go missing. So there's that. I also am almost finished my Granny Hexagon cardigan that I made with the Cinnamon Swirl Cakes. I do have a cake handy here because I kind of want to do a slight retraction from my initial review. I do still strongly believe that $14.99 is a steep price to pay. Here's the Cinnamon Swirl Cakes right here. This is the colorway Marble. It's actually, I do like some of the colorways. Some of them are pretty bright and vivid. This one, you've got like the hints of purple and mint green with the gray and neutral. But something like this, it's, again, a similar weight. It's 8 ounces, 227 grams. The yardage is 407 yards or 372 meters. And it's also a worsted weight, but it feels like a basic worsted weight. And to be perfectly honest, I think $14.99 is a steep price to pay for a basic worsted weight of this weight and increment. I wait till they're on sale. I don't even buy them regular price. I just can't justify it. I'd rather, if I'm going to spend that much money on a acrylic yarn, I would rather get it either in a greater weight or measurement, or order it from a company like Hobie. No offense, Karen. No offense to Yarn Inspirations, but just that's steep. It really is. But once I started working with this yarn, in my initial review of the cinnamon swirl cakes, I said that I found it hard to work with and it was a little abrasive. At the time, I was using a 5mm crochet hook, which is recommended crochet hook size, and needle size is a 5, and it didn't feel good. Then I thought, well, maybe I'll bump it up to a 6. Because I always default to a slightly larger crochet hook anyway. Well, except for the blossom cakes, which works perfectly with a size 5 in my opinion. So I bumped this up to a 6mm, and I found that it worked out really well. It works up quick too, especially the Granny Hexagon cardigan. If any of you folks are familiar with those patterns, they work up quick. And these are no exception. Although I think I worked through 4 cakes of it, just under 4 cakes. I still have to sew it together and put on a little fashion show for you folks. But yeah, I used a 6mm hook and it just did up beautifully. But the price is still steep. I can't justify it. I'm sorry. It's good to work with once I figured out my gauge. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm a loose knitter and crochet. I don't know. I have no idea. And another project, I did start working on another project just recently. It's a project I've been eyeballing for a while now. I don't really have much to show for it. Yeah, I'm showing off my projects, but it's not really much of a project right now. I just started it last night. This is the beginnings of what is called the Brick Stitch Beanie, and that pattern is from Jada in Stitches. If anybody knows that lovely lady, she's so bubbly and her positive energy is just so infectious and wonderful. She's just so enthusiastic. I love her so much. Whenever she does any of her craft room overhaul live streams, I'm glued to it. Like, wow, look at that. You've got so much stuff to play with, and just hearing her and her husband, Mr. in Stitches, play off each other, it's so delightful. It's been much needed therapy for me, to be honest with you. I just realized I'm fiddling with my hair a lot because I'm going to be missing it in a couple weeks. I can see now the first time I come after I get my hair cut, I'll be going like this, and oh yeah, there's nothing there. But yeah, this is the Brick Stitch Beanie. It is similar to the Crochet Eyelet Triangle Shawl by Hooked by Robin, where it's double crochet. Well, the Brick Stitch Beanie is a 2-row repeat. It's single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, and then the next row is just double crochet straight across. The yarn I'm using for this, because it's so pretty and vibrant and sparkly, check that out. I am finally, inspired by my sister no less, I am finally digging into the Universe XL yarn that I got from Hobie back in December. It was part of the Halloween haul. This colorway was called Zombie Apocalypse, and I think I got the other one in Trick or Treat in one of the lucky bags. But my sister started doing up some of these beanies, and they look gorgeous. Like, there's a slight slouch to them. Now, Jada said you can make them as slouchy as you want, or as non-slouchy, whichever. You can adjust the pattern however you see fit, as long as you want, as big or as small as you want. It can fit any size as long as you work with, I think it's a multiple of 2 crochet. Like when you're casting on stitches, it's a multiple of 2 plus an additional 1. But yeah, I'm putting this to good use, and I just found out yesterday that my sister started making another one as a chemo cap for me, which is really sweet. I wish I had the finished product to show you, but maybe I'll be able to do a video with my sister sometime before I have to go in and get things taken care of. But or unless I figure out how to do an attachment at the bottom to just take you to the tutorial, because I'm not putting up a tutorial. Just go follow Jada in Stitches. Go subscribe to her while you're at it. Her and Hooked by Robin. I heavily recommend both. As a novice crochet person, I recommend both Jada in Stitches and Hooked by Robin, as well as a bunch of others. You know, Fiber Spider, Mikey a Crochet Crowd, Bag O' Day Crochet. There's just so many. And yeah, with this year off, I'm going to be catching up on a lot of this. And a lot of this too. So I think that's enough meandering for now, or yapping, I should say. I did some meandering earlier. I'm going to take advantage of the fact that I'm mobile while I can before this starts to settle in. But again, I cannot thank you lovely folks enough for all the love, the support, the words of comfort and well wishes and prayers and just everything. You're so sweet. I also, before I go, had a couple folks ask if they can send some happy mail. I'm so touched that anybody would even think of me to send me packages. So what I'm going to do is down at the bottom here, I'm going to post my mailing address. If anybody does want it, you don't have to, okay? Please don't feel obligated to send me anything. If you want to, if you can afford to, you're more than welcome to. I expect nothing, but I'm grateful regardless. I will post that at the bottom. And if you do decide to send me something, please let me know whether or not you want me to open it or read whatever messages in the video if I do a happy mail unboxing, unbagging. If you don't, I respect that. Please let me know, and then I can just acknowledge you publicly. If you do, great. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate this so much. My social awkwardness is kicking in, so I should probably... Anyway, thank you so much. If you enjoyed what you saw, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. I appreciate all the positive feedback. If you haven't done so already, please go down here and click the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. It will let you know when I post more videos, and hopefully I don't stammer and stutter over my own words. I'm probably going to be posting a few more as we go because I'm going to have quite a bit of free time on my hands for a while anyway. And yeah, if you got any comments down below, let me know what you're working on currently, any projects you are hammering away at, any yarn suggestions for chemo caps that you may have for me. I've got a few in mind, but I'm always open to suggestion. Again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I sound like a broken record, but thank you. Stay safe, keep making cool stuff, and we will talk again soon. All right, bye. Mwah.